Happening right now, the Fond du Lac Fire Department is fighting what they call a major fire in an abandoned warehouse on North Brook Street. Our Emily Beyer is on the scene now with more. Em?
Hi, Brooke. Good morning, everyone. So we are here at that fire. This is the Northern Casket Company. You can see that fire is mostly out at this time. We know firefighters are currently just taking a closer look at hot spots. I'm also joined by Fire Chief Peter O'Leary. Tell us a little bit about what exactly happened here overnight. You were telling me earlier that this is possibly suspicious.
Sure. We had a police officer who was on routine patrol about 2:45 this morning, and he smelled smoke in the area. And when he got out here, he drove around the back of this building, saw a glow in the air, in the sky, and he noticed a fire and called it in, and then we responded. So yeah, this is an abandoned building. It's one that's been boarded up. City took ownership of the building, so we know that there's no electric or gasoline, natural gas here. So we know that the likelihood of the fire starting on its own is very slim. So we suspect that either people were in here, staying in here, or somebody intentionally set fire to the building.
Sure. And now if you can tell me too, right now again they're working to put out those hot spots. You're describing there was a major fire. We do have video that you had shared with us earlier this morning showing those heavy flames that you guys were working with. What was the toughest challenge that you guys were working through? I know you also told me there was a water main break in this area.
Sure. Well, that was a big problem right away. We had a water main break right down this dead end, and thankfully our water department was able to get here and secure the water main for us so that we could use some alternatives water sources, and we called our Mavis box alarm to get some extra resources here. We had multiple hose lines on, as you can see in the picture here, and right now our crews are up on the roof there trying to get the hot spots. There's some hidden fire underneath the roof line there, and they're working right now to cut a hole in, inspection hole as we call it, to see if they can find that fire. And you also can check on the parapet there. You can see how the brick looks really
It looks
sketchy.
like it's coming more towards us.
Right, and we're worried about that, so there's a collapse zone we don't want to get too close to. And I suspect, since this part of the building was separated by firewall to the other parts of this building, as you can see, this building took on a lot of different sub-buildings.
Sure.
And so I suspect that later today we will get a contractor in here and actually pull this apart so that it's not unsafe for somebody else to be in there.
Absolutely. And you were telling me too that you guys ended up calling in Mavis. Again, this is a large fire, but there are multiple reasons why you do that. Tell us a little bit more about why that was so important that you call in those extra firefighters, roughly 75 firefighters on scene here.
Sure. So this is a target hazard we could consider due to the great volume of potential fire and fire load here. We know that if this building got pulled away from us a little bit, it was going to be an intensive firefight, and you can just see by the sheer magnitude of this building its potential. So we knew that we were going to need a lot of people here. Obviously it's warm out. We like to put crews through rehab so they get hydrated and cooled off, and so it's kind of a round robin where you go through that and come back out. So all the companies that we have here, this is a great organization. Mavis allowed us to get a number of fire crews here right away, and the outcome is that we have a better outcome, and that's all part of why we do what we do.
And now the next step, besides obviously watching for these hot spots, will be the investigation. Do you hope that'll be done here today?
Oh yes, we will. I mean, again, our safety is number one. It's unsafe for us to put anybody in there, so if we get this wall pulled down, we might be able to go in a little bit and take a look. But physical evidence-wise, it might be pretty tough since there was such a huge fire in this building. But certainly our building department, our community development people want to make sure that we render this building as safe as we can. You can see they took a lot of liberty at bolting up these doors and bolting down the door openings. So we hope that we can secure it so that somebody else doesn't go in and do something similar.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate all that information. Brooke, we also know that there are several roads in the area that have been blocked off because of this fire, so folks in the area will need to find an alternate route this morning. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Emily.